Nobody likes to have to wait for something. But what if what you were waiting for you actually needed to save your life? My brother-in-law had a lung disease that affected both his lungs and his heart. He waited on that organ donor list for 2 years. Steve died at age 49. And according to the survey, some of you know people that are on that very same list. So today I would like to address the need for organ donation. I'd also like to speak with you about the benefits of being an organ donor, being the family of an organ donor, as well as the benefits of being a recipient and recipients' families. I'd lastly like to speak with you about the process of organ donation, what's involved, and how you too can become an organ donor, and encourage the people around you to also become organ donors. So today we're going to address all those points, and I'll begin by discussing the need for organ donors. Nationwide is a shortage of organ donations. The problem is the limited number of donors and an unlimited number of recipients, people that need the organs themselves. According to the National Kidney Foundation, there is a need for all types of organs: hearts, kidneys, livers, pancreas, lungs, as well as bone, skin, blood vessels, heart valves, just to name a few. All those things are needed for transplant. There are 112,000 people on the list waiting for some type of an organ. 112,000 people. And 18 people every day die waiting for an organ. And of all the people that are waiting for heart transplants, 10% of those people are under the age of 18 years old. So obviously that we see that there's a need. Also, according to the organdonor.gov, which is a government-run website, there is a need for organs that are specific to certain ethnicities, certain races. And the reason is that the need is disproportionate to the amount of donors. And it's typically African Americans, Asians, Pacific, and Haitians. Haitian people are great at risk for high blood pressure and diabetes. This greater risk puts them in a position where they could have renal failure. People of that ethnicity are 3 times likely to be end-stage renal failure. So end-stage renal failure requires a kidney transplant. The number of available kidneys is not great. The organs are not matched according to your race or your ethnicity. Anybody from any nationality, any race can give to another race. It's not race and ethnicity specific. But the more people that donate from your particular race or your particular ethnicity, the more individuals it will help in the long run. So so we know that it's going to help everybody. Now that we know that there's a problem, and let's talk about the benefit of being an organ donor, the benefit of being a family member of an organ donor, as well as the recipient, which is obvious, and the family of the recipients. They all have benefits. Being an OR nurse, for a number of years, I've been involved in numerous procurements, and they're never easy. And especially when the donor is a child, it is extremely difficult for the families. Families that suffer that kind of loss, it gives them some consolation if they donate those organs, to know that they've helped. They're amazed at how many lives that they can help with this generous and ultimate sacrifice. So 80 to 90% of all transplants that are performed are successful. So it stands to reason that the more organs we have, the better off we're all going to be. There is no monetary cost to the families of the donor, and according to the National Kidney Foundation, virtually all religious denominations approve of organ and tissue donation, and they consider it the ultimate humanitarian act. So the problem comes when you might say, well, okay, I want to be an organ donor, but you don't do the things that are needed to become an organ donor. You don't do the proper paperwork. You don't talk to your family about it. So it's very important. If nobody knows that you want to be a donor, if it's not written down someplace, if you haven't discussed it with somebody, then your wishes might not be carried out. You might not be an organ donor when you die. Results in a shortage. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We have a shortage for organs and tissue. So we know there's a shortage. We know there's benefits to being an organ donor, to being the family member of an organ donor, and obviously being the recipient. But lastly, let's discuss what the process of organ donation is. It's a simple process, and it's the most charitable thing that you can do. And according to an article titled Organ Donation Facts, which is published by DonateLifeNewYork.org in 2010, one organ donor can save the lives of 8 people. That same organ donor, if they donate their tissue and their cornea, can save and improve the life of 50 other individuals. It's amazing. The process of removing the organs is done surgically, and just like any other surgical procedure, the organ, the cavity is closed. There is no evidence, outward signs of organ donation, and the families of the donors are allowed to have an open casket at the funeral if that's what they wish. There are no outward signs of organ harvest. What happens is that there's an organ bank. The organs are matched to people that are waiting on the list, and this is done through an organization called the Organ Procurement and Transplant Network, and they match up organs to recipients, and their base is actually in Virginia. Currently there are 58 procurement centers nationwide, and they provide services to 250 transplant centers across the country. It's amazing, amazing gift. Of all those that die every year, 12,000 of those could be potential donors, meet the criteria for donation. Only half of those actually become donors. So it's really important that you talk to your family, let them know what your wishes are, encourage them to be organ donors as well. When you become a donor, when you die, they'll be involved in the donation process. So you need to let them know what your wishes are. Otherwise, they might not be carried out. You can designate yourself as an organ donor on your driver's license. You can also fill out a universal donor card. Universal donor card is something that has all the information on it. You can specify which organs you want to donate, what tissue you want to donate. There's places on the form itself for your families to witness and sign. Therefore, it opens up the discussion. You've all talked about it. They know what your wishes are. They've signed that they know what your wishes are. You should carry this with you at all times. In conclusion, as you can see, being an organ donor is the most important decision, one of the most important decisions that you could ever make, and it's the greatest gift that you could ever give. So to summarize, I have informed you of the nationwide need for organ donation. I've explained how it's going to benefit the donor families as well as the recipients and their families. And lastly, we've addressed the process of organ donation and what's involved, how to encourage others to do so, and to fill out paperwork that's needed to make sure that things get done. It's sad to think about, but what if the person that was on that list was somebody that you loved? And as hard as it is to imagine, try to imagine if one of your loved ones suddenly died, and you donated their organs, and you were able to meet the person whose lives you saved, maybe the person that received their heart. I mean, wouldn't knowing that you helped and saved a life, that your sacrifice went for somebody else, wouldn't that soothe and ease the pain a little bit, comfort you in your time of need? So there are 86 million people on the organ donor list according to organdonor.gov. So please sign up, join the 86 million people that are already on that list. share your desires with your family, and share your life.